Hello, thank you for watching this weekly Connect. This next week we're moving on in Genesis. We're going to be in Genesis 37 and then 39 through 50, and we're going to be teaching one of my favorite stories, and it's about Joseph. So I know in the past we've done Joseph and we've kind of strung it out and made it like a whole month long and did 4 different stories on him, and this time we're squishing it all together and we're going to do it just for 1 week because next week we're going to move on to baby Moses. So be prepared if you're the storyteller. There's a lot going on, but I do have a fun way for you to tell the story, so hopefully that will help. When the kids come into the classroom, we're going to be playing some games that are a little bit uncomfortable. Joseph's life wasn't always comfortable, and we're going to be talking to the kids and transitioning them into the story by playing games that are a little bit out of their comfort zone. So the 2 games that you can choose from, or you can do them both, or of course you can always come up with your own game, are Name That Tune, in which case you have a child come up and hum a tune and have the other kids try and guess what tune they're humming. And the other one is if you want to set the kids in pairs and have them have staring contests with each other. You can even do staring contests, and then the winner of that one plays against or stares against the person of the winner of the other one, if you want to do some kind of a hierarchy up until you have the best starer in the contest. However you want to do it, you know how to do what's best for your kiddos in your class. So however that works for you, and then you'll transition into story time. Sorry. And then when you are in story, if you're the storyteller, I have a different kind of way of telling this story. As always, you can do it however you'd like. You can read it straight from the Bible. You can condense it as best you can. It's just so much information because we're really going from when Joseph talks about his awesome coat all the way and has the dreams all the way up until he saves his brother. So we're doing it all in one condensed version. So it's written out in kind of a play form. So if you're going to do it the way it is in the curriculum, you're going to want to pick 2 older kids or very responsible kids to play your actors. You can even try and see if any of the teachers or the helpers in the classroom would like to do that for you too. And they're going to play either Joseph or they're going to play Potiphar, the brothers. You have name tags in there. It's all written out in your curriculum. So you'll have name tags they'll just put on. We were going to do hats, but then it took up too much room doesn't matter. Name tags that they can, each time they're changing the person who they are being, they just put on a new name tag. And you won't have to save those. The next class will have their own too. Trying to think if there's anything else you need. So you'll just have them act it out. They'll get their scripts. The scripts are already there, and they can read it along right with you. You, the storyteller, will have your scripted part as well, and then they will act out the rest. So you really want to get some kids who are animated, good readers, and fun. So that's my idea. I hope it works out. I know we've done it before in the past, but it's been a while. You can always, like I said, you can always just read from the Bible. You can condense it how you'd like and just be the storyteller, do it on your own. Or if you'd like to go on YouTube, there are so many brief cartoons on the story of Joseph. It's just hard to get one short enough that goes over everything. So if you find like a little excerpt of some part of Joseph's life, you can maybe move that into your story time and then tell the story up front and then tell the story at the back end too, just to get the whole full story in. So I know you storytellers know what you're doing. You don't need me to tell you. So anyways, that's what we're doing. Of course, we'll always have our worship, our offering, and our blessing. And then after story time, we have our review questions again. And just like last week, we're going to kind of play a game with the review questions. Last week, we did the volleyball, and I couldn't believe how much fun the kids at Thornton had. It was pretty funny. But you can either do that again. If you'd like a balloon, just ask your campus coordinator. They can get you one of those too. Or you can play any of the games in the review game box that you already have. You can play hangman on the board. There's so many different activities that you can do, but try and incorporate these questions into that to make sure that the kids are really understanding the story that they went over. And then after that, for your after story actual activity this week, I went ahead and wrote it in that you're going to do prayer time, because Joseph's story, while it all ends up good, he spends a lot of time in prayer, a lot of time with God, and a lot of time trusting with him. And we really, really need the kids to learn this month that God is sovereign. He's in charge of it all. He is holy and perfect, and he has a plan, whether we can see it or not. And so when you're praying, sorry, almost made it all the way through. And when you're praying with the kiddos, really spend some time talking about that and how maybe they're going through some times that aren't so easy in their lives now. But God is with them, and with prayer and continued trust in Him, they can make it through anything. There's always hope. There's always good because God is in control. So, and I went ahead and made this our after activity, because I know when I teach in the classroom, I always put that prayer like in the last needed time, right? So if I have extra time at the end, I'll pray with the kiddos. And I kind of want to push that more to the front, because I don't think we're spending enough time praying with the kids. I think there's heavy things going on in the world, whether it's with them or their family, or with friends at school, or, just the things that they hear on the news, anything like that. There's just some heavy stuff. And we just, as a church, we want to be set aside, be different, and let them know of the hope that is in God, that He is in control, and we don't have to worry about everything. Bad stuff happens, sure, but God is still in control, and He is still good. And that's really what we want to talk to. And sorry, I think I'm good. And get the kids learning how to pray and spending more time in prayer with God as well. So that's my prayer. That's my heart, where my heart is this month. And hopefully that'll be good for you guys. If you still have more time, which I know we won't at Thornton, we always run out of time, but if you still have more time, you can always go do your Bible work in the Bibles and move to Genesis. We're going to start learning about baby Moses. So sorry, I don't remember exactly the Exodus 1:22 and 2:10. So 1:22 through 2:10 in Exodus. So we're going to move on to that next week. So thank you so much. I hope that this helps you to prepare your lesson. Have a great week preparing, and happy Saturday and Sunday teaching those kiddos.